And
Yeah,
she
big
told
fan.
me. And then she got it for me, and I love the book as well, man. Like both.
And
of
the
them
movie's
are
great
great.
because the author wrote the screenplay and was like
Mhm.
heavily involved in it. They did a
Great
good ode, good
adaptation.
soundtrack,
Yeah.
dude. A lot of Smiths,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All that good. But she
Dexy's
gave it to
Midnight
me, and that
Riders,
was like a
man.
big
Yeah.
like book for me at that time. She
Yeah.
gave it to me, and I was like, this was written for me.
Yeah.
I am the wallflower. Of course, anybody who read it thought that they were the main character, but
Yeah.
and I was like, oh wait, he's a psycho that got by his aunt. And it took me a couple reads to
To get
understand
that.
that he was dead by his aunt. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened here? You know what I
He
mean?
was dude. Welcome back to This Place Sucks.
Sucks your blood. Yeah, little vampire spin.
My Dracula sucks, dude. Pun intended. Welcome back. It's Halloween. This is that shit that Danzig gets hard on. You ever thought about what Glenn does on Halloween? I bet it's some spoopy shit.
I think he sits around and remembers.
I think he makes a fucking tuna sandwich with no crust.
He don't fuck with crust, dude.
And he probably watches black and white horror movies.
He's
watching
probably
The Creature
doing-
from the Black Lagoon as we speak.
At what he presumes to be, I'm not going to comment on the realness of witchcraft or not, but he's probably doing like real witchcraft.
Oh, I know he is
Right
dude.
now. He's probably like
brought in the
sacrificing-
gargoyles for
Yeah,
the sacrifices.
dude.
dude.
Yeah. Any way we can get the blood to run up the walls?
This is my book collection.
But that shit is sick, dude. It's a very Danzig day. It's a very Davey Havoc day. I
Yeah.
drove around all day in the Indiana countryside, in the rain, looking at the fall weather, listening to the complete discography of AFI. No, I didn't make it through all however many hours, 48. It's probably 2 days worth of listening straight through, but I listened to a lot.
I listened to All Hallows EP this afternoon, and then
That's usually where I started.
threw
I've
on
been going
some-
back and doing Shut Your Mouth. And
answer that and stay fashionable.
Yeah.
That good
Still
shit.
good, dude.
Yeah.
All of them are pretty good.
I threw on some spooky records. I listened to
Well, Samhain.
I threw on Initium and November's Coming Fire. Listened to both of those, and then on the way over here, I listened to the Captain Clegg and the Night Creatures
Okay,
album, man.
all right.
Little Jesse Dayton. So I had a nice day of music with the.
I had a lot of
the
Susie and the
movies.
Banshees
Oh,
this
yeah.
season. A lot of The Cure, a lot of Joy Division, a lot of Bauhaus, a lot of fucking Cramps, obviously. Just all the good gothy,
Buzz,
spooky
buzz,
bands.
buzz.
Cramps especially. I think Cramps and Misfits are like two.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Oh, I'm a human fly, and I don't know why.
Hell
I say
yeah.
buzz, buzz, buzz. It's good shit, dude.
This time of year,
I'm
really.
the garbage man.
He's
I love
fucking-
that shit, dude.
These 31 days are the best days of the year, and now it's over.
Little
and I'm
Tiger
depressed.
Army, Coffin Cats. I mean, anything in that realm musically.
I really tried to just amp up my current lifestyle a little more this month.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm Halloween 365, but this month I really have to
I commune with
go
the
all
dead.
out.
You
There's
know
certain
what I mean?
things I try to wait until this year. Like, I try not to listen to Samhain in fucking June.
Yeah, I gave
I try
myself
not
a
to
little
watch
AFI this year.
Michael Myers
but
in May. You know
They're
what I
usually
mean?
my
Like,
October. They are my favorite band. I can listen to them anytime. But I
Yeah.
like to blare them all October. But I
Yeah.
also like to mix in the other gothy shit,
Yeah.
dude. You know
It just
what I
it
mean?
feels right though. Like as soon as the first
Sisters
leaf
of Mercy even,
hits
dude.
the ground, I've got the Misfits at a notch higher than I would have
Yeah.
had it.
Well, when you
September
sent me
31st, you know.
the Twitching Tongues,
Oh,
Twitch Fits,
yeah.
Volume 2, better, all great fucking covers, dude. Good, yeah, all of that shit, dude.
Yeah.
We
I-
listened to that on the way. You know, we've had a spooky season
I
ourselves.
have. It's been
dude.
good. The only thing I didn't do this year was go to a haunted house, man. I went
Well,
to the Dent Schoolhouse last year.
We're going
but
Saturday night. You want to go with us?
What am I doing Saturday?
Probably fucking getting buck chucked in a cornfield, dude.
Yeah, man, you're right.
I might spread my butt cheeks bare ass naked, run backwards into the cornfield.
I
If you
might.
catch me in the right mood.
I was gonna try to go see Terrifier 3, but I'll keep you posted.
On Saturday night.
Mhm.
I don't
I
know.
still haven't seen it.
I'm
yet.
taking the kid trick or treating tomorrow over in Carrollton.
Hey, and y'all ought to roam down
I'll come by your
6th
house.
Street. I'll be on 6th. Come down 6th.
Where at on 6th?
I'll give you directions.
All right.
Come down 6.
I'll come down there and have her get some candy.
I'll be in full get-up, and I'll be passing out candy.
You know, I've just been throwing on that Jason mask. I was
As you ought to.
working the other night wearing the mask the whole time,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
I went in Taco Bell in that mask and was literally... So a kid was like, as I was walking in, I just had it like pulled up on my head, and he's like, the little kid dressed as a minion. He's like, Pawpaw, he's with his granddad. He's like, Pawpaw, look, it's Jason. He's Jason. He didn't have his mask on. And I just like pulled it down and like winked through the mask, and I went in the restroom. And of course, as I'm peeing, the door flies open, and he's, Jason, what's up? It's C Money.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He
dude.
comes in and says, what's up? And then I walk out, and the kid's like, you know, still talking to his grandpa. He's like, look, it's Jason and stuff. I say, what's up to C Money? And then I leave, and I wave bye to the kid, and he's like, bye, Jason.
I love
it was
that.
pretty cool,
That's
dude.
wholesome shit. Yeah, I got some family friends that we camp with, and they always invite me over to help them pass out candy, and I'll throw on the whole Michael Myers get up, man.
Hell yeah.
It's always a pretty good time. So y'all have to stop by, and
For sure.
I'll load the kiddo up with some candy, man. I bought an extra bag to pass out, so
Nice. Hell yeah.
be a good time, man. But yeah, dude, this episode today is brought to you by The Dead.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep it creepy all episode long, and just kind of go with the flow of Halloween.
We are recording as the American Halloween turns into the larger harvest holiday of Samhain or Samhain.
Samhain, if you want to.
Also in the season of the Latin American Day of the Dead, which I think they do on November 1st or 2nd.
This is that day of the year, man, where
year.
the two realms are the closest together.
Yeah.
The living and the
Well,
dead.
dude, you know, I don't want to get too hokum, but
Let's get
I do
hokum,
my
dude.
shit, you know what I mean? I commune. I talk to dead people. They don't talk
He
back.
sees 'em
I'm not
all the
crazy.
time, dude.
But, you know, sometimes I think, like, man, if spirits are real, and, like, say my great-grandma could hear me. That's who I like. When I was growing up until I was 11 and she died, that was, like, my babysitter. That's who I stayed with all the time. On weekends when my mom would have to do shit, whatever. And I liked being over there. But, dude, last night had a very vivid dream. I used to dream about her all the time when I was, like, younger, when it was, like, still fresh, her passing. Haven't dreamed about her in a long time. And then last night, had a pretty vivid dream. Not only about her, but it's the weird thing, my Aunt Doodle just died, too. And as kids, the family used to go to their house on Meade Street. That was when all the cousins still got together and all that type of shit.
The good old days.
Yeah, and I dreamed I was there as an adult. All the adult cousins were there and shit, and Doodle was there, and my grandma and shit. So it was like a pretty cool, touching dream.
I like those.
You know what I mean?
Those have a little merit, a little more meaning to them, you know.
And it feels like it has meaning because all of my dreams are usually like just not like nightmares in that they're scary, but they're always just like crazy, weird, vague things that are, you know, mildly unsettling. I wake up like covered in sweat all the time. Half the time I don't even remember what the dream was, but they're very rarely pleasant. So to get a pleasant dream,
I have way more nightmares than I do pleasant dreams. The last really good pleasant dream I had was of my grandmother that passed away in 2020. And it was a very, it was like one of those, I know you're dead and she knows that she's dead type dreams where like we weren't, we wasn't beating around the bush, you know. She was like, hey.
Oh yeah, like it's.
And I'm like, you're not supposed to be here.
The
She's like,
circumstances
you know,
are,
yeah. And I woke up just happy as a fucking pig and shit, you know. Because I've been
When did
using
you start talking like
I've
that?
been using that one a lot. I miss my grandma a lot, dude. So
Me
that
too.
that was cool, dude. You miss my grandma?
Yeah, well, to have those, we miss our grandmas, dude.
No, for real, I really do.
But to have
And,
those dreams, like,
yeah, it's
on
nice. It's a nice
this
touching
season
little,
when, you know, those superstitions exist about the veil being thinnest or whatever.
Because I ain't superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
A little stitious, dude.
You know?
I'm mildly stitious.
Like, I X my window if a black cat crosses in front of me.
Yeah.
And one, like, flew out last night. I was on my way home, and it flew out between me and the car coming, and he made it. They made it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have been a boy or a girl. Could have been whatever. Could have been a fucking skinwalker.
I don't think cats even perceive gender.
Well, I mean, I don't
They
know.
perceive mating sexuality, but
but I don't want to.
Anyway.
You know?
I did read recently, though, that the actual superstition with black cats isn't that they're bad luck crossing your path, thereby granting you bad luck, but they serve as a warning for potential bad luck.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're driving. Every time I see one now, I still do the X, but I start paying attention. And I'm telling you, I see black cats all the time, and nothing's happened in like ages. But I do remember
a black cat.
once, but I mean like driving and shit.
Oh yeah.
I do remember one specific time, like right after I heard that it was like a sign, that of a warning, not of a bad omen. I was fucking driving, and I was about to cross the Prestonville Bridge in front of your house. Black cat passed. So I was zooming, dude. And I fucking slowed down a little bit, and just as I came over the fucking crest, there was a truck, like, in the middle of both lanes coming up, and saw me and got over in time. But if I had been going my previous speed, I'm pretty sure I would have, like, ran into him coming over that crest. So, say what you will, that cat.
Yeah.
But you know me, dude.
I was
kind
in
of
that
communicate
same spot
with cats.
one time, and I hit a black cat and killed it.
Might have been the one that warned me, dude.
It really made me fucking sad. It fucked me up, and I love cats.
I've only ever ran over an animal once. I hit a dog,
I've hit a couple,
but it didn't die.
Sad.
It definitely, like, hurt it, muscularly and shit.
Yeah.
Definitely banged it up, but I did, like, I was with Laura at the time. We were driving to LaGrange to see a movie, and I fucking saw it running right towards the road. I was doing like 55, 60 on a 42 or whatever it is going towards LaGrange. Slammed down, slowed down. I was probably doing like 20 by the time like it ran into the side of the car. And I think it like went under, but I didn't run it over. And it like crawled out and took off running up a driveway. And you could see it was like limping and shit, but it was running. She made me go up and like check on it. And as I'm walking, it's like a long driveway, like in the country, and I parked at the end, and there's like 2 no trespassing signs as you go up the thing. So I'm like going up, and I just start like yelling up there, like making my presence known.
You all right?
I'm like, hey, is anyone here? Go, dog, hey!
Hey, get out of here.
The owners came out, and they were cool, and I was like, I'm so sorry he ran out. And they're like, yeah, he literally just like bolted out the door. We can't let him out, or he runs like right for the road. So we exchanged information, and he lived, and he was cool. But I felt bad about that forever, dude.
I've killed a couple raccoons, and I killed a cat, and that was about it. As far as well, I've smoked a few deers in my day too, but they don't count.
I've had
menaces to society.
Dude, the 2 times that I've hit a deer, it's ran into me both times. Once into the side of my car, knocked my mirror off. Deer was fine. Second time, it jumped off the, like, embankment of a hill on the left side of the road all the way onto the hood of my fucking car and, like, lost traction, slammed, scared to death. Matt Derman was with me. Heather would remember this. She was with us.
Was she there?
And Henry and Reagan Hall.
Well, sign off in the comments if y'all remember this. Man.
Yeah. We were driving Matt Derman's mom's car, and we were on, like, this side of the road. It came off the embankment, hit right on the hood of the car, and its face, like, smacked the fucking glass where we were, like, making eye contact. I was like, slammed on the brakes. It flew off, took off running. Not a scratch on the top of the car. Little dent like that on the side where its leg had come around and like smacked it. That was it.
Hell yeah. I got a good roadkill story with Heather. Speaking of, one night we had to stop the car so she'd get out and throw up, and me and Corley posed up with
downward.
We posed up with a dead rabbit.
Hell yeah.
It was kind of cool. I still got that picture somewhere. Yeah.
Rabbits are roadkill on Route 37.
Yep. I'm glad that song's available on streaming.
You know what I want to do, and I wish I had thought of this early in October and made it like my October kind of like nonsense project, because I get into little bullshit all the time, read about whatever for like a couple weeks. You remember all the like lore and like little hidden shit in AFI stuff? Like back in the day, everybody talked about it all the time. Like all of Sing the Sorrow is like hidden messages. All the tracks are out of order. If you listen to the sounds and the beginnings and ends of each song, you can like put them in order, and it tells that, you know.
What is the correct order?
I'd have to. I had it figured out once, and then like validated by the message boards.
And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that Leaving Song Part 1 should come before Part 2.
Yeah, as you would say. Little hint there.
Check
for
that
you.
out, man. Figured I solved the mystery, man.
The bonus tracks don't count except for This Time Imperfect, because it's on all editions of the album. The Japanese version, I think, had Synesthesia on it, and I think the UK version had Rabbits or Roadkill, I think, was on. I thought that came from...
Rabbits or Roadkill was on...
like a single, I thought.
No, I was on December Underground.
Was it? Because it's on the deluxe edition of Sing the Sorrow.
It was the bonus track on December Underground if you pre-ordered the album. I'm pretty sure.
Well, dude, back then...
That's why, and they kept it like
LimeWire.
that. But they kept it like that. Like, you couldn't get it anywhere. Like, they were pretty strict on, like, they stuck by their shit. Like, this is a special thing. It's staying special. The only reason I knew that song even existed was because of LimeWire, Frost, or wherever I had illegally downloaded it.
There's a lot of there's a bootleg company right now,
but now it's back on streaming. So
Dork, which was AFI's first ever 7-inch, and 2 other previously unreleased or like unre-released 7-inches of AFI's, including the one that they did as a split with Loose Change, which was the band Jade was in before he joined AFI. And it's like $150. You get 5 of these 7-inches.
What's that one that I've got at the house, man? I've got that.
It's like, is it the Nitro Best of?
No, it's. I'm assuming a boot because I had bought it off of. I bought it off a page on Instagram, but I don't know if it was like I can't see AFI letting somebody else do an official release unless they somehow had the rights to it. But it's I can't remember if it's a 45 or what. I think it is. It's a smaller one, but it's black and white, and it's like everybody dancing. And on the back of it, it's got Davey, and he's got a giant ass mohawk, and it's like the real early shit. And I can't think
that might be one of the ones that I'm talking about.
It might be. I don't know.
Pretty sure. Dork just has Adam's face on the front.
I'll have to look it up when we're not on the show.
I know the picture of Davey with the mohawk.
But I've got that one. I bought it a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure I bought it during COVID when I started buying records like fucking crazy.
Yeah, what's up, hard lore? This is the hardcore AFI lore, dude. For fucking fall, man.
And we love AFI, dude. And it feels perfect listening to them this time of year. Anyways, man.
It really fits. Yeah. And their later catalog's grown on me a lot. I still don't much care for most of like December Underground. I do like a select number of tracks. It is a very like...
It's a good album.
Let's make an emo album. Emo is popular right now type of thing. The record company had a big hand in. But I think Crash Love, which is their most hated album,
Crash Love's good too.
Pretty fucking good.
Burials was probably my...
Crash Love Up, they do like a very post-punky type of vibe, you know what I mean?
Was it the Blood album? Did that come out after Burials?
Yeah, Burials, Blood album, and then Bodies.
Yeah.
Which is all good
as
albums.
far as like everything that come out after Sing the Sorrow, I would say Burials is probably my favorite, even over December Underground.
Yeah, Burials is good, dude. Burials is album, really good.
They had, and it's weird too, because a lot of people just like we were talking the other night at that open mic. Those guys were talking about AFI not being that big or that mainstream or whatever, but they really were. They were a huge fucking band. They still are, and it's weird how people just
the VMAs.
Forget after Sing the Sorrow that I guess they really probably forget after December Underground because of Miss Murder that's probably their biggest hit, I would say.
I remember once watching Monday Night Football and just during the background music during one of the things they were playing Death of Seasons.
Isn't that wild?
That's huge.
I remember watching them on the MTV Awards. That was
man.
Badass, man.
I mean, they were a massive band. They were all them and My Chemical Romance might have been the 2 biggest of that sort of emo-esque wave, even though I don't consider AFI an emo band, but that era. But I don't know, fucking those dudes probably only saw them on the periphery where we we're deep in it. Maybe we think they were bigger than they were. But I've met people who don't know rock bands at all, who know AFI just from
I've
how
never,
big they
ever,
were.
in my entire existence of being a AFI fan, which is going on more than half my life, have ever considered them an emo band.
No.
I don't understand where that. I mean, I get
That album has
I get that they had 2-3 albums that kind of had
and even
the
Sing
vibe,
the Sorrow
but,
has the
yeah.
proto
and
kind
that's
of.
that's fine to.
I think Sing the Sorrow is more like of a post-hardcore kind of fucking album than anything.
They will always be a hardcore punk band to me. Like if somebody said, how would you describe them genre-wise, I would always say a hardcore band.
Their first music video, Davey pulls a lollipop out of his mouth and says, ever since I can remember, I always wanted to be in a hardcore band.
Yeah.
And their early shit was...
And that's the shit
it's crazy, too, because kids who are into hardcore now think shit like fucking Incendiary and fucking Knocked Loose even and fucking, you know, like that type of shit. And they listen to like old, you know, even like any AFI and they're like, AFI is not a hardcore band.
No, but they are though. Dude.
But when you talk about like
man.
bands like fucking Black Flag and Agnostic Front and all those like first wave hardcore bands, that was AFI's like original sound.
Yeah.
Indistinguishable.
Because I remember, you know, the first song ever hearing was Silver and Cold, and then I remember hearing Girls Not Gray. I remember listening to all of Sing the Sorrow, but when I really got into them and I really like became a fan, the 2 songs that stick out the most was their cover of Halloween. Yeah. And then I Want to Get a Mohawk, but my mom won't let me get one. And then when I heard that, started listening to the earlier shit, that's when I really became a fan
That's off
of
Answer
them,
That.
you know?
That's off the first album, I think.
And you know, they also had another Misfits cover too, man.
Last Caress.
And now they had another one too, man. They did 3. They did Halloween, Last Caress, and Demonomania.
Yeah, Demonomania.
And that's one that's hard to find because I don't think it's on.
You know another one that's hard to find? A lot of people don't know about? They covered My Michelle.
Yeah.
By Guns N' Roses.
I've heard it too. I don't know which album Demonomania is on. I'm pretty sure it's on like a fucking single or like it wasn't a...
One of my favorites.
Official release.
You know, I'm not a Smashing Pumpkins guy, and I'm even less of a Billy Corgan guy. But there's a live video out there of Billy Corgan on guitar, Peter Hook, the original, playing bass, and Davey Havok singing cover of Transmission.
That would be
and
fucking
it is
sick, man.
Yeah, Davey kills it. It's good. They do a lot of good shit, man. And then all of his other band. I mean, you know. He just underrated musicians.
It's weird too because if you listen to me gush and talk about AFI, you would think I was a super fan, but he's really the super fan. Like I don't even know.
I mean,
I know a tip of the iceberg compared to
when you talk about like going all in, having a favorite band. You all know like people who got obsessed with like a band. AFI was like that band for me. As soon as I saw, I'll tell you, the first video I saw was Days of the Phoenix. But it wasn't until I saw
that one too. That was another early one that
they were playing it around the same time as Sing the Sorrow dropped on Fuse, and then I saw Leaving Song Part 2. That was the one that fucking hit it off for me. The suits, the fucking hardcore dancing out in the fucking pit, all of that shit. The song itself, and I fucking immediately was like, oh, I love this band. Look up everything. Saw that they also did Days of the Phoenix. Was like, hell yeah. Got into that album next, and then went back early shit up. Because once I listened to Art of Drowning, I was like, it's crazy, because this sounds like a Danzig-esque type album. Everybody says early AFI was Danzig, but I don't think he really started singing like that until like Black Sails.
Probably, because I think Black Sails was after the Son of Sam album.
Yeah, I think so.
And that would make sense, because he was in...
That's when they reformed,
So... I got I have the pumpkin from the All Hallows EP tattooed on the back of my leg. I don't know if y'all can see that or not.
And I've got the Sing the Sorrow Leaves.
Sing the Sorrow Leaves. But we went and seen them in concert, and I had Adam, their drummer, sign the tattoo.
And I wish I thought of that.
And honestly, it was pretty cool at the time, because I was like, well, you know, I've yet to see them again. I've only seen.
They're the only autographs I would tattoo. Anna did the Tom Green. She said she'd do a couple other celebrities.
Yeah, I mean,
they're the only ones for me.
There's others that I would probably consider doing. That one at the time, though.
Peter Hook's still alive. Robert Smith's still alive.
What was that?
If I met them,
2014 when we seen them.
When we saw them together. Yeah,
that was 10 years ago.
Almost to the day. We saw them in October.
Yeah, and I got this. The jack-o'-lantern tattoo on Halloween, and I think that was 2013.
Oh, yeah.
So, pretty cool.
14.
No,
the tattoo the year before, the jack-o'-lantern
the
itself.
autograph,
Yeah.
But at the time, though, I think I would have been about 22, it really just kind of seemed like an impulse thing to do as a 22-year-old. Like, I'll have the drummer sign my tattoo. But he's not just the drum. I mean, he's been with the band since the get-go.
Committed, baby.
So, like,
Committed.
he is the fucking drummer of AFI.
Yeah.
But
that
Adam was
lineup's
great.
Not going to change.
Yeah, Adam was awesome. He was super nice, man. He hung out with all of us, and he signed and took pictures with everybody, and he was great. But like I said, it seems like an impulse decision at 22 to do that. But if you asked 32-year-old me to do it, I would still do it. So I don't think it was that fucking impulse. Like, it was pretty cool. But, you with AFI is like me with, like, Danzig, Misfit, Samhain, like that whole fucking all of Glenn's shit is like that's you with AFI.
All of because I'm also into all their side shit, dude. I like the Son of Sam. I like the fucking Black Audio, Dream Car, Extremist, fucking all of it. I did.
Very talented dudes, man.
All the side shit, all the iterations. But yeah, man, to kick off the Halloween episode,
let's just jerk off
30
AFI,
minutes of
dude.
AFI right off the bat. And if you guys want to go ahead and pause and go ahead and just listen to their entire discography so
and then come back,
and really give it a solid listen. If you want to just like judge the current band, start off at All Hallows, Black Sails, Art of Drowning, Sing the Sorrow, go through. You'll find something in there for you. Dude.
Yeah, they got a little bit of everything and a little bit of something for everybody,
Even crazier, dude. I remember when I was in rehab, I was hanging out with this guy at meetings and shit like that a lot. We were gelling. He fucking would drive me, he'd pick me up from the rehab and take me to meetings and shit. And he was playing Black Audio in his fucking car. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh yeah, I fucking love Black Audio, man. I'm a big... And he was like, what does that have to do? Why do you mention AFI? At the same time, and he didn't even know they were related. He was strictly into, like, electronic music. And was really big into Black Audio because of that.
And that makes sense. I said another one, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. They're a very talented group of dudes, so it would make sense that they would have more than... And very just, I don't know, they're a musician's musician, of course they're going to have side projects and, all that shit. I really hate that I didn't get to see them this year, and I didn't get to go with you guys, because that would have been fucking sick.
I did love it, but, I mean, honestly, like I said, part of, like, AFI is one of those bands, as much as they deserve to be in an arena full of people and playing a big...
small, intimate, like we seen them at...
I want to get in the pit. That's one of the only bands where I'm going to literally stand there and do deep breathing exercises until they come on, and then I'm going to get in the pit and fucking
try to love
someone, baby. And their pits are fun as fuck, too, because you can go kind of crazy. People do get pretty hardcore, but you'll never, like, see a crowd killer. Davey would stop the fucking show. Yeah. If somebody got, like, seriously
He'd be
injured.
like, hey, guys, let's stop.
But you still might get your fucking nose busted.
He might hit him with and then just everybody start fucking crowd killing each other. You never know.
He stopped the show because he thought somebody was hurt, and because of, like, and they weren't, everything was fine, and they didn't end up playing Silver and Gold because they lost, like, 3 minutes.
I would have been mad.
And I think they ran a really tight ship on that tour with 30 Seconds to Mars. They weren't allowed to go over.
Oh, I'm sure, dude, because Jared Leto would come out and be like, hey, I've been on an island, dude.
Yeah.
What's COVID?
I wear robes,
I'm the
dude.
jonkler. Anyway, I'm the jonkler.
Yeah, have you seen Joker 2 yet?
I've not, dude. I've not seen Folie à Deux.
The more I see about it, the more I want to see it.
I think we're going to fucking love. We need to watch it together. We'll just wait till it's streaming.
I saw Tarantino talk.
I know. Tarantino was like, it's a real fuck you to the fans. There's no feet in it, but I mean, it's great. It's a great film,
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, I wanna see it for real. I think it's going to be fine, dude. I enjoyed the first one. I went back and forth on it, but I think now overall, because I recently did a rewatch of it to get prepared for 2, and I will say that Joker is a good film. I think Todd Phillips knocked it out of the park. This one I'm excited to see because I feel like from what I've read, I'm really going to fucking love it.
Yeah.
But I had a chance to see that or Terrifier 3, and me and Corley went and seen Venom 3 instead. So, and that was great.
Let's talk a little horror movies, dude. I've recently seen, and I know some of them are, they've been out for a while, so spoilers, but I recently watched Barbarian.
Yeah.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah. You hitting it big, man. Those are great
Don't
films.
Move.
Yeah.
I watched. And then what's that one we watched tonight?
Oh, the girl with the cobweb up her ass or some shit.
I can pretty succinctly say the last two were fun, not excellent movies. The first two, fun, excellent, great movies.
Cobweb put me to sleep. But I do love Lizzie Kaplan, so I gave it a 6 out of 10. And 5 of that was for her, and the other one I just gave because that was being nice, and it was movie night, and it was Halloween. But
yeah,
I kicked back today, and I always have a tradition. I always watch. I like to watch Rob Zombie's 2 Halloween films back to back, and Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's the 3 movies I always watch on Halloween, no matter what. But before I come over here, I was kicked back, and I was watching Halloween H2O because I forgot how good of a Halloween
That's
film that
my
is,
favorite
man.
Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's a great one,
soundtrack, dude.
It's awesome. I really enjoy that movie.
Speaking of great soundtrack, sound off in the comments. Donnie Darko, Halloween movie or not? When I do revisit it, it's almost always in October. The movie takes place through the month of October, culminating on Halloween. That's when he closes the time.
I wasn't saying it wasn't a Halloween movie. I just didn't classify it as a horror movie.
Well, dude,
that
you
was
got
the point
great
I was trying to make.
80s post-punk new wave soundtrack.
Yeah,
all the Halloween vibes. That scene alone, where they're at the Halloween party, he's walking down the stairs with his girlfriend. They're playing Joy Division.
Love
Will
Donnie
Tear Us
Darko. I don't know
Apart.
why you're coming at me.
I'm not coming at you. I know you love the movie,
dude.
but
Echo and the Bunnymen. It's cool, dude. Frank the Rabbit.
It's a Halloween movie.
It's cool. I'm not saying it's not a Halloween movie.
Another sound.
I was just saying I didn't think it was a horror movie.
No, it wasn't a horror movie. Halloween season movie.
Yeah,
like Halloween Town.
And that's fine.
Halloween Town isn't a horror movie.
I'm in agreement with you. I just was trying to say I didn't want to watch it because I didn't think it was a horror movie.
Second poll. Nightmare Before Christmas
is a Christmas film.
Christmas movie or Halloween movie? I think
you can do it as both, and that's acceptable. But to me personally, it's a fucking Christmas movie.
I think
the whole plot of the fucking movie is Jack trying to bring Christmas to Halloween.
Yeah, but it's not about the plot; it's about the vibe. The vibe is spooky. He's a skeleton.
Yeah, but the vibe is spooky. He's a skeleton, but that's
also claymation always creepy. Wallace and Gromit. Halloween movie. Sound off in the comments.
The vibe is Halloween. They live in fucking Halloween Town. Like, yeah, the vibe's spooky. It is a
Christmas movie.
But it is, to me personally, I watch Nightmare Before Christmas on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning I like to make breakfast and I watch Black Christmas from I think 78, 79.
Well, there's way more of a case for that to be a Christmas movie.
No. I don't give a fuck about the sequels, but like that's like
Nightmare Before.
But
Christmas.
that's a tradition of mine. Is I like to watch those 2 movies. I'll watch Christmas Eve, Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Black Christmas on Christmas Day, because it just to me.
It's
called The Nightmare Before Christmas. How is it not a fucking Christmas movie?
Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Nightmare. Yeah.
That's how I feel right now, dude.
I'm just saying, to me, I'm not a Nightmare Before
Christmas.
But
I think you can watch it on Halloween. That's fine.
I'm not a fan of that movie, and as I've gotten older, in general, not a huge Tim Burton head. I had all of his movies when I was a kid. I thought as a young goth kid, I had to be into Tim Burton. The only ones that I'm genuinely a fan of and will like rewatch like repeatedly, Edward Scissorhands. Mm-hmm. Batman Forever.
Batman Forever is my favorite Batman. Yeah, Big Fish is good too.
There's another one that's like a lesser known to be by him that I know I like. But when it comes to like, I wasn't a huge Corpse Bride fan. I wasn't a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan. I'm just, like I said, I'm not big at like the claymation or that style of animation in general. It's just not my fucking thing. I hated his remake of Willy Wonka and his remake of Alice in Wonderland. I get that they were both closer to the books and he added whatever. I'm just not a fan. I don't hate him. I don't think he sucks. He has said some, not racist, but like borderline. He did say that like black people don't fit, when asked why he doesn't have more black people in his movies, which was kind of a gotcha question in that circumstance. He just said that they don't fit the aesthetic, which I personally disagree with. I think
I disagree
you could absolutely use that aesthetic.
I like a few, yes. I love Batman Forever. I love Edward Scissorhands. I love Beetlejuice. I love...
Beetlejuice is the one
I
was thinking
personally,
of.
I really do enjoy Nightmare Before Christmas. Corpse Bride is okay. I will watch it, but
I don't think they suck.
No, but...
Just not for me.
I'm not a huge fan either. I like some of it. I like enough of his work that I would probably call myself a fan, but I'm not like I'm not a fanboy. You know what I mean?
But... it is good stuff for Halloween season.
Yeah.
I think that's what I don't like about like those two in particular is the claymation animation style is unsettling to me. You know what I mean?
It's not a fun aesthetic, no.
Yeah.
It is kind of not cringy, but like I don't know, there's something about it makes me feel weird.
Literally like skin crawly cringe. I'm not a big because it's got that. It's almost uncanny valley. Like it's close. Icky. It's so close, but it's not. Ick. Yeah.
It really rustles your jimmies, don't it?
Tim Burton talk, dude, for Halloween, you know? But Beetlejuice is another one that I'm fond of. A lot of his early shit. But I gotta tell you, I think is like I think maybe my top from him might be Big Fish. Big Fish, Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Big Fish is great.
Fucking Danny DeVito's in it.
High school.
Jessica Lange. Fucking, what's the dude that was in... No, I can't remember the other dude's name, but it's a good movie.
I like that little video of Danny DeVito when they're giving him the pictures of Batman, and then they get to Michael Keaton. They're like 8x10s, and he's like, this one.
Yeah, that's the one.
He's like, that's the Batman. That's the only one. That's my Batman.
We love you, Dan.
Danny DeVito we trust.
And I'm a big Michael Keaton fan. I tell you, a movie that I've seen 1,000,000 times because it's every rehab has the movie, and that's like a big thing you do in rehabs. It's like in downtime, watch a lot of movies. And the one I was at had like Netflix and all that shit. The one I was at the longest, it was sick. But the other ones, they always had Clean and Sober with Michael Keaton. It's an 80s movie where he is like a business guy that's a cocaine addict and he goes to rehab. It's a good movie, dude. He's a good-ass actor. He's really good.
Did you watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest while he was in there?
That's a good fucking movie. No, that they didn't have that one in there, surprisingly. But that is a good... You ever read the book?
I do enjoy the movie, though.
I
should give it a shot.
Jack Nicholson's the protagonist?
Yeah.
Rapist.
In the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rapist. He, like, flashes his dick, comes on to young women. I don't know if he's a full raper, but a diddler of some kind. Yeah.
A perv.
He says some shit about he likes them young girls. That's like what he's in trouble for. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. Problematic.
I want to say Miss Herder, who was an English teacher for like a couple years at our high school, is the one that gave me that book. She gave me a couple books. I think she thought I was gay. She gave me a couple books about like gay kids.
The only book a teacher ever gave me was... Mr. Mahoney gave me a copy of Rebel Without a Crew, the story of Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez?
Who the fuck's Robert Rodriguez, dude?
The filmmaker?
Yeah, is that his name?
Is it? Isn't it?
Hey, we'll edit that out,
the film,
dude.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez, yeah. He made 1,000,000 fucking movies, dude. Yeah. El Mariachi, dude.
Is that about him?
Desperado. Yeah, it's about his journey as a filmmaker and all that stuff.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
I had a fucking brain fart at the moment because I was thinking of Robert Trujillo from Metallica.
Oh yeah.
Their names: Robert Rodriguez, Robert Trujillo.
I kept thinking Roger,
Danny DeVito.
Roger Rodriguez.
We've done a lot. There's a lot of O's going on here. Just
yeah,
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I had a little bit of a stroke. But yes, Robert Rodriguez, Rebel Without a Crew. Mahoney gave me that book because I wanted to be a filmmaker, and I still have that book to this day. I've read it a couple of times, and I'm always thankful and appreciative that he thought enough of me to give me a copy of that book. One of these days, I'm going to give it to somebody else and pass it on when I feel like I'm at that place. I feel like it's the right thing to do.
Speaking, Miss Herter gave me Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's a banger too, man.
Yeah.
Never had. Well, I've read the book. My aunt Erica got me the book for my birthday one year, but I wanted the book after I seen the movie because I loved the movie.
Oh,
and I didn't know that it was based on a book. And then she told me. And then she got it for me, and I loved the book as well, man. Like both.
And the movie's great because the author wrote the screenplay and was like heavily involved in it. They did a good ode, good soundtrack, dude. A lot of Smiths, you know what I mean, all that good shit. But she gave it to me, and that was like a big fucking like book for me at that time. She gave it to me, and I was like, this was written for me. Yeah. I am the Wallflower. Of course, anybody who read it thought that they were the main character, but. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wait, he's a psycho that got diddled by his aunt. And it took me a couple reads to get that he was diddled by his aunt. I was like, what happened here? You know what I mean?
He was molested, dude.
Yeah.
Here's my Halloween hot take.
All right.
Greatest horror director of all time on 3. You ready? Yeah. You say yours, I'll say mine. I just think mine's going to be more of a hot take than you. But
okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go. John Carpenter. You're a piece of shit, dude. I love that. Yeah, John Carpenter.
Second for me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wes Craven. My dude. Now, third, this is actually going to be a curveball.
Okay. All
right. 3, 1, 2, 3. Ari Aster. So far, he's making a case to make the list.
I was gonna say Ari Aster, but I didn't.
He's not really my number 3, but if he keeps going the way he's going, he'll end up there.
So I started. I had as soon as you said to do the 3, like we were counting down, I paused because in my mind I was gonna say Ari Aster and run with it. But I know if I really sat down and started thinking about it, I could probably name 3 or 4 fucking people that I would probably put in that third spot that are horror directors. But yeah. John Carpenter and Wes Craven, though,
they're the big dogs. Really, there's a lot of other names in there.
Yes.
Dario Argento.
That's Argento. If I had to do my 3, it would be Carpenter, Craven, and Argento. That's the 3 because I love Suspiria, I love Inferno, I love a lot of Argento's work. I like his style, the color. I like the presentation. So that's probably my top 3. But Ari Aster is up there for sure. And I think if he continues to make especially like creepy, unsettling films, I would definitely put him up in the
Del
top.
Toro in the running.
Yeah, Del Toro's up there too.
I wouldn't call him strictly horror, kind of horror fantasy, but I'd put him in there.
I tell you a guy, and I'm just going to make sure so I don't misquote when I say this, but another guy that I think people sleep on because they don't really get into the shit kind of like we do, but another one that is great is Steve Miner. Steve Miner did Friday the 13th Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 3, Warlock, Halloween H2O, Day of the Dead, and Lake Placid. So I would also, and he was also a production assistant on Last House on the Left and the original Friday the 13th and Night of the Creeps. So I would also want to put him up there and Tobe Hooper as well because of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But
makes me think of like Romero
that was a
now,
lot.
Who was
S.A.
up
and
in
George,
the conversation.
Yep.
Sam Raimi, who also did the Spider-Mans.
It's really hard to set.
Toby Spider-Mans.
That's a tough genre because some of those guys not necessarily get pigeonholed into it, but some dudes just like to make that certain type of work. But the reason that I put Carpenter and Wes up there, and Carpenter, like when I think of John Carpenter, I don't even think about fucking Halloween. And I know that's everybody's go-to with Carpenter.
No, The Thing.
I was about to fucking rip my fucking jacket off, but The Thing,
really,
The Thing is
honestly,
one of the greatest scary movies ever.
John Carpenter's vampires, dude. Yeah. I say it all the time. It's not just like a good vampire movie; it's a good horror movie altogether. Yeah. But yeah, dude, just good shit. Also, pause back for a second. Just speaking of great directors, Barbarian, which is in the running for, one of my top newer favorite horror movies. It's similar to As Above, So Below, but I think they do it a little bit better. Written and directed by Zach Kreger.
Yeah.
From Whitest Kids You Know. Look him up. You've seen Whitest Kids You Know. R.I.P. Trevor Moore. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for a fucking debut horror movie from a guy, I don't know if he's written any other movies, actually. I know he's been in a couple.
And we can't forget about Eli Roth either.
Eli Roth's in there.
I don't know how I didn't mention him because he's made a lot of great horror films. Rob Zombie's another dude. He's got his own little niche as far as like the style of movie he makes, but he's a through and through horror director, and I like about 85% of his work, so I could definitely put him on maybe my top 10. I don't know. I like a lot of Rob's shit. But yeah, dude, John Carpenter, that to me is the GOAT. I think The Thing that's up there as far as one of the scariest movies ever made. Like, I think the practical effects, the story, the isolation, how it makes you feel when you're watching it, like that movie is horrific. And when I think of John, I automatically think of that movie. And not saying that Halloween isn't one of the best films ever made either, but it's just a testament to how
it's
good
part of his resume.
It's just a testament to how good John Carpenter is to say not only Halloween, not only The Fog, not only The Thing, not only vampires, not only Escape from New York.
I think Jordan Peele could potentially keep making.
Dude, Jordan Peele's
I think his
fucking
movies
fantastic,
have been
dude.
So fucking like fun, and like the visual directorial style is like terrifying in a super realistic sort of way, psychologically as well. Yeah. And I know everybody like slurps on him nowadays, but like dude, he makes good. 2 or 3 more horror movies, he will be in like the top dog status.
I don't know if I could pick a favorite out of his shit, and I might catch flack for this, but it would probably be Us, dude.
I liked Us. I loved Nope.
Yep.
But
Nope
I think
fun.
Get Out is probably still the number 1 for me.
Yeah, Get Out's great, but Us
with
was
the
cool,
sad
man.
ending. With the sad ending where he goes to jail and shit.
Oh yeah.
Both of them. You know, a movie that had like 2 or 3 endings that I realized because back in the day, you could watch bonus endings on DVDs. You could choose in the main menu sometimes to watch different versions of the movie, and they would have different endings, or maybe the cutout scenes would be in it. And I always watched the director's cut of Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
Which in that one, it's the one where he goes back to in the womb and strangles himself with the umbilical cord.
Yep.
But apparently in the theatrical, he just like goes back as a kid and tells the girl when they first meet, like, fuck off, don't ever talk to me, you suck. And that works, and they never see each other again. And that like saves the lives and shit. But
man, I'm very thankful I did that to a lot of people in my life.
What? Told them to fuck off? Yep. Yeah, you probably saved their lives, dude.
Probably did. Probably saved mine.
There's a lot of movies where they try to make it seem like a panic attack is actually some kind of superpower. Namely, I'm thinking of Butterfly Effect and Wanted with James McAvoy.
Yeah.
In Butterfly Effect, he can travel backwards in time, and in Wanted, he can like slow down time and bend the bullet and fight really well and shit.
Right.
But only if they like let their panic attack take them over.
And here's something too, because there's a lot of people that listen to the show that are friends of mine or people that know me enough in general that they're like, I am a horror buff. I watch a lot of horror. But I just want to set the fucking record straight. If you're going to ask me for a list of films to watch, or like you're gonna get a recommendation, 90% of the shit I'm gonna recommend to you is slasher films, because I love slasher films.
They are fun.
70s, 80s, like that to me that's just my personal favorite. I'm not saying it's the best genre of horror. I'm not debating anything. But don't act surprised if like that's the kind of shit that I give you to watch, because that's what I like. Now, do I love monster movies and zombie movies and suspense movies and cult movies and like witchcraft shit? Well, of course. But the slasher's always been and always will be my personal favorite genre, period, in film.
Yeah.
Across all
You know what I like about them, for horror's sake, is in a slasher or a gory type of movie in general, and I feel like this also goes for shit like war movies. You're seeing something that's so like viscerally scary, it doesn't matter who the person is necessarily. Mm-hmm. Like, so you can get away with a lot less like character development and like fucking investment into the characters, and just put it all on sick deaths, a sick killer, sweet ass fucking shots, really scary, suspenseful shit, Whereas if you go to another type of horror, like a supernatural or anything like that, then you have to get invested in the character. And it really reveals how shitty a lot of the writers are. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because the characters are like very flat. 90% of the time, they're a family that's moved into a new house, that's like started a new job. That's like the baseline for like 90% of supernatural movies where the house is haunted.
They've moved into a new house. The walls are leaking blood.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going up the walls.
It's going up the walls.
But that's why I like slashers and shit like that too. And I mean, I love the supernatural, psychological shit if it's done well. That's why I like Ari Aster. That's why I like Hereditary and Midsummer, because you get invested in those characters. So when you start to see the terrifying shit happen,
it makes more sense.
Yeah,
and neither one of us have seen Terrifier 3 yet, but shout out to them for making it the #1 movie in the world.
Yeah,
that's insane to me that an independent, unrated slasher film that's just nothing but a wild gore fest became the #1 movie in America. That's badass. Gives me a lot of hope for where we're going in the future. But I do want to say this. The one thing I don't like about the Terrifier films is I really don't give a fuck about the plot, and I really don't give a fuck about the characters. Now, I'm sure with the recurring characters from 2 being in 3, I'll probably
care a little bit more.
I'll give a little more of a shit.
But it is, that movie especially, so gory and visceral with the deaths and shit that it's like, okay, well, just seeing this happen is enough.
I want, at some point, and I'm going to get on a little bit of a tangent here, but so bear with me. I would like at some point to really get into a good slasher film that not only had the characters that I really love and care about, but had the violence and the death and the gore of Terrifier. Because I feel like that would be just the perfect mixture. Like, I know there's a lot of great films with the theater of the mind. Like, if you watch the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you walk away thinking that you've seen an absolute bloodbath. And you really didn't. And if you watch the original Halloween, by the time the credits roll, you think you've seen an absolute bloodbath, and you didn't see any fucking blood at all.
The Screams do it really well.
Scream
though,
as well.
As
The original
as, like,
Scream.
Making you care about the characters still.
And I think a lot of that, too, is where so many people came back.
Yeah, they had to
all the
do
way
it
up until
over
like 5
a few movies. Yeah,
you know, and when you look back, especially at how many of them survived.
But dude, imagine Terrifier's
when
like
Dewey died in part 5.
Yeah,
and he has a brutal fucking death. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I felt something when Dewey died. Another one is in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 when Danielle Harris's character Annie dies, because she was in the first one. She comes back for the second one. You don't see her death on screen, but you see her die in a puddle of blood. For me, as a fan, I think of her playing her character in 4 and 5 as a kid. And we never really got to see her on screen die. So even though it's 2 different characters, the same actress. So for me, when I seen that, I just immediately thought of Danielle Harris as a kid. And when I'm a kid, I relate because I watched those movies when I was young. So I felt like I was also watching a fellow 9-year-old escape the boogeyman. It was relatable. Yeah. So as an adult, when I see her die in a Halloween movie, even though it's 2 different characters, it hit me way fucking worse. I was like, oh my God, I finally just seen little Jamie Lloyd die. It just, I don't know, it bothered me. So like you said about Scream, when you see that kind of shit and you care about the characters, if I gave one fuck about the characters in Terrifier, man, they would be fucking great.
Do you think that's why shows like The Walking Dead have done so well as you can get to see the visceral? So I think there's something in somebody that's like, you are terrified of like losing a loved one. But if you can vicariously experience that through witnessing the demise of a character that you've grown attached to, it satisfies something in you. It's like the whole need to let out some primal violence every once in a while, or that whole fucking philosophy, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I think a part of our psyche needs to think about death.
I mean, look at how the internet imploded when Negan killed Glenn.
Oh yeah, dude. That was
like really super fucked up because he was a very loved character and he died in like a brutal fucking way. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. And
you didn't think it would happen.
No,
like, no, this wouldn't happen to that character. They'll never do that.
When you have a character that's loved, and I would like to see, I don't know, man. There was a part of me that really wanted at the end of the latest Halloween trilogy, I wanted to see Jamie Lee Curtis fucking get brutally murdered. Not that I wanted to see it, but in my mind, I was like, dude, if they kill Jamie Lee off at
That's
the
how
end
you
of this,
do a horror movie.
or her granddaughter's character, even
in
like
real
that we followed
life,
since the first one. There,
in real life, the horror is that the hero dies.
Yeah,
the villain doesn't.
That would have fucked me up if he'd have gutted Jamie Lee.
And we'll go a little long, dude. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween, dude.
It's
you
Halloween.
got me in a good mood. We'll go a little long, but yeah, I think that's what you ultimately want. But even though I say that, and I'm a huge fan of like Friday the 13th, where that was literally like just back to every year in the 80s, a Friday the 13th movie come out, and it was a whole new cast of kids and Jason just chopping them up. But I love that. Though.
We kind of missed, like, there was an era, I think it lasted up into the 90s from, like, the 50s and 60s, but from, like, the Universal Monsters all the way up to, like, the end of proper slashers, which was the Scream franchise that inverted the slasher and it made its whole new thing, you know? Yeah. I think that was, like, the era of, like, horror movies felt great. Going to when I went and saw fucking Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Oh yeah,
in theaters, dude.
That was a banger.
That was an experience. Just being in a theater full of other people and everybody screaming and spilling their popcorn at the same time, and just something to it. And even when I go to a movie now, anytime I've seen a horror movie in the last 10 years, if there's anybody else in there, there's almost always a group of like kids who just, you know, are going to be kids through the whole movie and just laugh and yada yada, you know.
How old are you in 6th grade? You say 9?
11.
11? Mm-hmm. You sure?
Yeah, my kid's in 6th grade.
So 11. So 10, 11. You'd probably be 10 going in and 11.
Yeah, depending on your birthday.
I'm trying to like, without looking up what year it came out.
I turned 11 in my 6th grade
I was trying to mentally map it out. So I'm assuming, we'll just say I was 11 at the time. But I remember my aunt taking me to see Jason X.
Oh, that was another one I loved.
Or no. Lied to you.
Freddy versus
Jason, yep. I remember my aunt taking me to see Freddy versus Jason. I remember my mom being a little hesitant, even though I watched scary movies. So the first time I'd seen one on the big screen, and I would have been about 10, 11 years old. Actually, I think that came out in 2002. So I would have been 10. So that was 1992, 2002. That's 10 years, yeah. Right? Yeah. So I'd have been 10. I think that's when that came out. But anyways, I think I was in 6th grade. So that also checks out.
Yeah.
But I remember going to see Freddy vs. Jason in theaters. Real game changer for me, seeing that on the big screen. And two dudes that, like, I don't think very many come out when I was growing up. Like, I mean, I know there was Jason and Freddy films come out while I was growing up, but like
I think New Nightmare and X
obviously
were the two that dropped when we were kids.
Being kids, the time period we grew up, we'd already, even you, because you were born what, 88, 89?
89, yeah.
So you're a baby in 89. Like you'd missed all the shit too, just like I'd missed all the shit from 92 back.
We didn't really weren't the age to remember.
So seeing those guys on the big screen was pretty cool. Now, me as an adult today, I fucking hate Freddy vs. Jason. Like,
there was a nice Jason at Scarefest. Mm-hmm. There was the Freddy vs. Jason, and he had Freddy's head, like a nice Freddy's head he was carrying around, just out like this the whole time.
I like that. That movie has some great shit in it. I shouldn't say I hate it. I hate how Jason looks stupid in that movie. But that's a sidebar. That bears no fucking meaning to the convo here, but that was the first time I'd seen a horror movie on the big screen, and that was a big deal for me. But the first time I ever watched a scary movie was Sleepaway Camp. I was probably like 6, maybe. My aunt had no fucking business showing me that, and I'm glad she did because it changed my life, obviously. But that was the first one, and then I remember watching Halloween 4 and 5 a lot with my dad. Me and him would watch those movies together, and Jaws. And then I remember discovering Friday the 13th and never looking back. So I think that's why, for me, scary movie-wise, like, my first exposure to horror was not a zombie movie or a supernatural type movie. It was a slasher. So I think that's why I have a soft spot for them,
Yeah.
because that was my introduction to horror. So,
New Nightmare, I think, was the first for me.
New Nightmare's great.
In
dude.
theater,
I love
huge
that fucking movie.
But I do remember my dad, when I went over there when I was like 8, 9, or 10, he would play like the old black and white shit. Like we watched the original Day the Earth Stood Still on
that's a
Halloween
banger,
one
yeah.
time. And I want to say it was American Werewolf in London. One of those.
You know the one that bothered me the most as a kid, that I absolutely hated watching as a kid but love as an adult, was Hellraiser, man. When I was
very
a kid,
unsettling movie. Still,
when I was a kid, the Hellraiser movies just bothered me. And
have you
now,
seen the new one?
Oh yeah,
I got around to watching that one a few weeks ago
Yeah.
too. I liked that a lot.
I thought they did an excellent job. I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm hoping they continue that story and they bring that cast back, because I remember everybody.
Clive Barker was at Scarefest.
I know, and I hated to miss that.
I saw him, but didn't meet him.
But yeah, like I know a lot of people, the dorks on the internet, were bitching about a woman playing Pinhead, and she absolutely knocked it out of the fucking park.
Yeah,
man.
also,
So
it's like we're talking about like demon things. Like, what are they called? Cinephiles? Cenobites?
Cenobites, yeah. They're like they sell them at Taco Bell. Man.
Yeah.
The Cinnabon Delights, dude. We got the Cinnabon Delights coming out of hell, brother.
Bro, open those fucking graphic novels up. Hellraiser's scary as fuck, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That shit's like terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a horrifying story. It's awful.
Yeah, it's all about torture and despair and like
sexual desires and like all sorts of freak shit.
I tell you, the first movie that I watched, it was actually back in September, right before we left for. We probably talked about this. No, I don't know if we have it or not. But I watched Jacob's Ladder, just on YouTube for free with what's his name from Shawshank Redemption. Tim Robbins. You ever seen Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Crazy movie.
Mystic River's a good one, too.
That's a good one.
That's anytime I think of Tim Robbins, I think of
Mystic River's good.
Yeah.
But in this one, dude, he's like a Vietnam War vet who comes back and he's all fucked up and like he starts seeing all kinds of crazy shit. You gotta watch the movie. But then at the end, it turns out he was on the operating table the whole time and taking like a bullet over there or something and he's dying. And, like, getting taken to hell or something. It's crazy. It's a good movie, dude.
What was that movie? I'm pretty sure somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I think it was the sequel to Pet Sematary, where they bury their dad. He's like the police officer.
Pet Sematary, too.
And he comes back. That one fucked me up, too, as a kid.
Dude, we watched a preview for a movie called Handling the Dead that I'll probably watch here soon. It's just in, like, Norwegian or something like that. Is Oslo? Oslo is the capital of what? Norway?
Man, you're asking the wrong motherfucker, dude.
Or maybe Sweden? Excuse me, Europe, dude. Norway. I was right. It's the capital of Norway. It's a Norwegian movie. I'm not even going to give you all the plot. It's on Hulu. It looks good. I want to watch that. Dude, I mean, there's just so many.
I'm excited for Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's
everything I've
be
seen
potentially good
picture-wise, including the trailer. But the shots from the movie look fantastic. I am excited for that, man. And Robert Eggers doesn't miss, dude. Lighthouse was a banger.
Dude, I loved Lighthouse.
Witch is probably one of my favorite in the last 10, 15 years.
Same. I'm a big Witch fan. But I keep going back to Lighthouse, too, as, like, potentially one of the best movies, like, made in recent history, dude.
Yeah, Lighthouse is amazing.
I've watched it 2 or 3 times.
I got really high hopes for Nosferatu based on what he's done so far, you know.
I was never a Robert Pattinson hater by any means, but that movie sold me on, like, oh, dude, for him to, like, match Willem Dafoe, that whole movie, dude. Yeah. I mean, it was a powerful performance.
I knew that he was no joke after Water for Elephants.
Oh, yeah, but that was a kind of
movie.
He was good in it, sure.
It was, but I mean, though, coming off the heels of Twilight. Like, you could tell in Twilight, like, man, he might have something. And then he did Water for Elephants, and I was like, yeah, it's there.
You ever see a movie where it's just like a weird little personal drama, but then at the end they reveal that it's 9/11?
You talking about with Nick Cage?
No, Robert Pattinson. It's like a drama. He's like got some kind of romantic problems,
I know what you're talking about now,
and then they zoom out at the end, and he's
planes.
like in the Twin Tower, and it says September 11th, 2001, 7 a.m. or something like that. The sun's coming up, so it's like the night before. Yeah. I don't know if he's in the Twin Tower. He might be like across from it or something. But it's just like the whole premise of the movie is
what a wild concept.
It kind of is interesting because it's like, well, here's just the normal, average life somebody was experiencing, thinking they were going through the craziest event of their life. You know, like, oh, I'm going through a breakup, this, and this. And then, boom, 9/11 happens. Pretty wild, huh, how life works like that. But also, it's like, what?
That really happened in real
what
life.
A weird plot.
That's real shit. Yeah. That really happened to a lot of fucking people that day, dude. Crazy.
There was a great era of, like, 9/11 movies. My favorite was the fucking Let's Roll. Remember Let's Roll? It's like Flight 93 or something.
Yeah,
the guys
vaguely
were on the phone with one of their wives and was like, they're terrorizing. They're already hitting buildings, so we're going to hit them with the food cart or something. And then right before a disconnect, he goes, let's roll. And then that's the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania. They took it over, like they managed to fight the terrorist and stop them from hitting the building.
And a couple of things before we head out for the evening and go summon some ghouls.
Hey, if I'd been on that plane, I would have landed that bird. I inverted the sucker and landed it on
Calm down,
Hudson.
Mark Wahlberg. Goddamn.
All I'm saying is, I was there, it would have gone a little differently.
So this week, my boy here did his first open mic.
I did.
And
true.
I'm very proud of him.
Thank you.
And I wanted to take a moment to tell him that.
Thank you. Well, I'm proud of you,
He did a very good job. I did my second one.
And he did excellent as well, man.
And we had a good time. And I threw up.
We're ready to keep going. I
threw up because of the vodka and the rallies I ate afterwards.
Yeah.
I threw those fucking funnel cake fries up, dude, and that was funnier than the stand-up I did. But
no, the stand-up was great.
But yeah, I thought you knocked it out of the park, buddy. I'm very proud of you, and I thought you did a very good job, and I can't wait to see you do more. So.
Well, did you email about the 18th?
I did. I sent one out. I haven't checked to see if they replied. So
I'm doing another one on the 18th. I'm not I'm not inviting people out to these things until I feel like
it's just an open mic,
cruising.
Man.
What I'd
nice
like to
practice,
do is
really make you feel the vibe.
Kill a few times and then invite a bunch of people and bomb in front of all of them. Get that out of the way.
Yep, that's the goal, dude.
Yep.
But yeah, it was very exciting, man. It was cool seeing him up there. We had a great fucking time. It was fun. All the comedians that night were great. Like it was good, man.
I gotta be a little looser next time. You were nice and loose, dude. You were comfortable. You wouldn't have been able to fucking guess that it was your first, second, third, fourth time. You looked like a seasoned comedian that was up there trying jokes out and knocking it out of the park, dude.
You're sweet.
I watched my little.
I wish the crowd would have been. I don't want to say the crowd sucked, but I wish there would have been more people.
It was all other
there,
comics mostly. There was like 5 people there that weren't on the mic.
I wish the crowd...
And they were receptive, though. There just wasn't enough of them to, like, hear a lot of laughter.
Right.
You know?
I wish the crowd that I did my first one at would have been there for the second one. I think that would have been
They would have gone off.
Because when I opened up, man, and I got about halfway through the set, I didn't have very many giggles.
That school shooting joke hit the whole time. When you hit that line about Matthew McConaughey foot up on the Tesla, I don't want to give the whole joke away. Yeah. But the laughs just started building, and when you got to the punchline, crescendo, dude, perfect.
Yeah, that was a good. That's what I call my Kill Tony joke. That's the one I would take with me if I ever got the opportunity.
My nervousness, I remembered when I went out there, get the mic off the stand, set the stand aside. But when I went to get off the stage, I forgot to put the mic back in the stand, and I just handed it back to the host.
Yeah, when I rewatched and I listened to the audio back, and I watched the video, I noticed at the end I was like, well, I'm gonna wrap it up short and cut that. I was up there for 5 fucking minutes, dude. Like I didn't cut anything fucking short.
You got your full 5. I did a set that I had like timed out. I'd like talked it out a couple times with pauses for it to be like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I got up there. I did forget a couple tags, but they weren't that good anyway.
I didn't look at the light one time, did not know that I had went 5 minutes. I got so caught up in the moment that...
I don't think he shined. I don't think he was lighting people up.
I don't think he really does until it's 5 minutes, dude.
I think he's, yeah.
But I
especially
really have to fucking work on that. I really have to start watching, because I'll get up there and fucking... But at that point in time, I was ready to get off the fucking stage. I'd done what I thought I needed to do for the evening. Like,
yeah, I told all my jokes that I wanted to tell that night.
I, in my mind, was not going to... I mean, obviously, I know it's an open mic. I know, we all know what we're doing, like, as far as you're here to practice, you're here to try new shit out, you're here to get your sets down, like, to get experience. I get all that. But I, in my mind, mentally was preparing for it just by gauging the crowd and what I'd heard so far and what I'd seen. I was gearing up for nobody to laugh at any of my shit and it to be a complete bomb.
Same.
So when I
was
started and nobody fucking laughed at my shit, I made sure to engage the crowd and let them know that I know that they were not laughing at my shit. You know, like, and that made me feel a little more confident, I guess. But I thought I did okay. You know,
I did. You did great. But it was very. I mean, you know. We're just babies in this shit.
Yeah, we're infants,
right.
dude. Yeah.
And I mean...
You gotta have good cadence up there. My thing is you gotta have confidence. That's the only thing I've learned so far from doing this shit is just have confidence. If you don't believe in the jokes you're telling, nobody else is either. So I like to really go up there and I don't fuck around as far as... I'm not half, 1 foot in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not half-assing it. I get up there and I go, You can't get up there and fucking freeze.
And
dude.
I'm going to get a little bit looser next time. And honestly, next time, I think the smaller ones are where you can be a little bit looser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll never drink before doing one again.
I did my best to not get insanely high.
Yeah.
But I think I need to get slightly higher before I go on next time.
Yeah. I bet you were nervous too. It's your first time, dude. Everybody's know you're going to be nervous forever.
I got to get the jitters out, dude. Well, some people say they're nervous every time they go on stage.
Sure. I have a strong feeling I'm going to be one of those types. So
I'm cool with doing shit that I'm nervous about.
And I said I had a couple of things, and I forgot what the other one was. So,
well, we got plenty, dude. But we will start. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let's kill out the rest of this fucking record. We got 10 fucking minutes. Let's just vibe,
I mean that's
dude.
Cool, dude. I'll piss right here on your couch.
Oh, you got to piss?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know how to hold it in.
No, dude. I've been holding it in for an hour,
dude.
It's cool, man. Fuck you, dude. No, we appreciate.
Say something cool.
I'm trying to man.
Wrap it up.
Happy Halloween.
Happy
I hope
Halloween.
you guys have a fun and safe evening. I know you won't hear this until later this week or whatever, but
it'll be Monday. It's
Monday.
Friday now.
Yeah,
so,
but we love you guys, and I hope you guys had a fun and safe holiday. It's
carry
the
that
best
Halloween
holiday.
spirit to Monday.
Yeah, dude. Carry that Halloween spirit for the next 364 fucking days.
Samhain lasts till the 8th anyway, dude.
Samhain
lasts
till next year, dude. Yeah. It never ends.
I remember Halloween. Yeah.
This place sucks. Whoa.